The Conversation Motivational Hour with your host, Minister Seon Rodney. The Conversation. Thank you for watching the Conversation Motivational Hour. We love you and cannot wait to see you in person.
This program is being sponsored by Coversational Merchandise Cravings. Visit us at Coversationalmerchandisecravings.com. Purchase your cups, mugs, hats, hoodies, and much more. Coversationalmerchandisecravings.com.
Good night, each and every one of you. Welcome to the Conversation Motivational Hour, our Mother's Evening Celebration. With mothers, you are one of a kind. Tonight, I want to tell you it's going to be hot, it's going to be lit, it's going to be epic, it's going to be dope. It's going down tonight. On the Conversation platform, we have the Conversation family, the Conversation Together We Rise family. In the Mahaika Maikoni, we have our youth pastor, our soon-to-be ordained youth pastor, no other than Jasmine Prasad, alongside yours truly, Seon Rodney, giving guidance and leadership to the Conversation platform. Tonight, we want to thank you for taking the special time off to tune into our program, whether we're at your fireside, whether we at your pool party, whether you're out there having a pedicure, manicure done, having a massage, wherever you're driving along and tuning in tonight, I want to thank you to bring us into your personal space. And tonight, mothers, we want to thank you for the sacrifice that you have made tonight. And I want to let you know that mothers, we as children, we are looking at your life and how much you mean to us. That's why tonight podcast, mothers, you are one of a kind. So I have Decky, my favorite color. Is no other than Jasmine. You know, she already had her makeup done. She ready to go. She ready for, like, she's gonna get a photo shoot after this and so on. She get her camera videographer ready. That after this podcast, she's gonna get off to a shoot and everything else. Nevertheless, in the great things and time between time. Jasmine, how was your day today?
I had a very good day. It was a relaxing day. First of all, Pastor Seon, thank you for having me, taking the time up to have me. I know normally it's apostle, but tonight you requested. So I'm glad that I could be part and parcel of here today. And I had a wonderful day, Pastor Seon. It was a relaxing day. The rain fell a little. And you know, when the rain falls, it makes you feel extra relaxed. So it was a relaxing day. How was your day, Pastor Seon?
My day, man. Let me see. I get up this morning. I take 2 extra hours of sleep because the body was telling me to relax. Then I get into work. Then I get out to work. I went to a reunion. It's one of the school in Guyana. Reunion, Barbies High School reunion, and Bishop High School reunion, and Vineman's Irvin reunion today. And then I get me a little cook-up rice, and then I came back home, watch a movie. I can't wait to be with you this evening.
So that sounds really good. I heard you had. I hope you had some old-fashioned cook-up.
Oh yeah, it was some old-fashioned cook-up, and I tell you, it was good. It was good. What did you eat today?
Well, I had some fish curry today.
Awesome. So, Jasmine, we're ready to rock and roll. It's Mother's Day evening, and the floor is yours. Shout out to your mom, to all the mothers, and whatever you want to. The floor is yours. Jump into it, and we're going to go back and forth. I wanted tonight, we're going to make the mothers feel real special. We're going to make the mothers feel worth, you know, they did an excellent and awesome job. So, Jasmine, talk to us tonight.
Well, first of all, to all the mothers tuning in, I want to wish you an early happy Mother's Day. To my mother, Apostle JD, I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. To all the fathers that are playing mother roles, I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day as well. To the aunts, uncle, grandparents, because sometimes life gets tough and we don't all have the traditional kind of mother that everyone is accustomed to. But anyone can choose to be that kind of role model of a mother if they really want to, if they love that person enough. So kudos to each and every one of you that aren't just biological mothers, but have stepped up into that role and you deserve it. I want to wish each and every one of you a happy and blessed Mother's Day. I am fortunate enough to still have my mother here with me to spend Mother's Day with her. So I want to encourage each and every one of us out there that you still have your mom. Reach out to her on Mother's Day. I know no one is perfect. No mother is perfect. Everyone falls short. Everyone makes mistakes. But you know what? You have her here still. So reach out to her on Mother's Day. Make her feel special. Because one day we're all going to be at that place that we want to be made feel special for the things that we've done. So if you have your mom here still, reach out to her on Mother's Day, show her a bit of appreciation. It doesn't have to be a big grand gesture, probably cook her lunch, spend some time with her, do something. I don't know. And to those of you that, have lost your mother or that role model that was your mom, we can still relish in the fact of their memories, the people that they were, the things that they have done, and they can live on in the stories that we tell about them, the things that they have taught us, their legacy, we can still live on in that. So even though some of us, we don't have our mothers here with us or they're far away, we can still take comfort in the fact that knowing that, we experience some kind of motherly love.
So I want to shout out to I'm fortunate to have two mothers. My biological mother, which I don't have that much, bonding with, because my biological mother left me when I was 1 year, couple months, and migrated, so we never had that mother and son, sorry, bond. But my foster mother, who went all the way, all the journey, was Curly Denny Thomas. I want to shout out to, which we call AKA Auntie Curly. She just celebrated a birthday. I want to thank her for all that she has done for me. There are times I think she didn't really like me because of a strong disciplinarian, which she was, and she is, because she's still alive. And I want to thank her for all that she has done for me. Every moment of my life living in this part, Western Hemisphere of the world, I am able to see, yet without a title, yet without any high-class job. She has done a great job in giving me the best education she can give me, that I can able to stand the test of time. In the world, I have to stand as an individual. So I want to thank you once again, Auntie Cordy, for all that you have done for me, for nurturing me, didn't spare, the rod and spoil me, give me tough love, and so on and so forth. So I want to thank her for all that she has done for me, and thank all those who joined with me to celebrate our birthday in a few days that just went by. So Jasmine, let's deal with things tonight. I know I'm being pastor, daughter, PK. But we're going to deal with you tonight as our youth pastor, because you're our youth pastor now, Pastor Jasmine. So, Pastor Jasmine, growing up around the church and in the village, right? And people in your family, I know you have seen a mother who have gone to be with the Lord, who have died. Tell me tonight that one thing that really touched you from a woman who was a mother or not that impact your life, but she's no longer with us. Because tonight I want us to minister to those who have posthumously lost their mother, because we are helping them. At this time, they may not have a voice. They are crying. At this time, they cannot speak. But something we can talk about, a mother that we know was gone, and they can say, that is one ingredients, or this is one thing of my mother, and I wish she was still here. So tell me something that, some mother, around the church, the village, or your family is no longer here, but touch your life.
Well, Pastor Seon, I think that person for me would be my grandmother, my mother's mother.
Uh-huh.
Um, I knew her growing up. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her because of we were living in a different country and she was here in Guyana at that moment. But the faint memories that I have of her, I could remember her being a very giving person. She never saw color, she never saw religion. even though she was not Christian at that time. She still showed that kind of Christian love. The kind of love that we speak about, I saw that in my grandmother. And I think that's where my mother inherited it from. And I hope that I have inherited that same kind of giving spirit and that love that, she was just like my mother. Everybody's children were her children. She would discipline you. She would tell you like it was, but not to hurt you. But you know what? She wanted betterment. She didn't just want betterment for her kids. She had 6 kids. She didn't just want betterment for her kids, but she wanted betterment for everyone's kids. And growing up, coming to visit her and seeing how the people in our community really loved her and respected her, because to me, something respect like that, you don't just get it by, you know, keeping to yourself and just it appears. It shows the kind of commitment and the kind of person she was to show love and care and kindness, not just in words but in deeds. And people respected her so much. She didn't have to do something for them to respect her, but because of who everyone knew she was and the things that she had done for people, she was that respected in her community. And that for me is something that I strive to be. She was a simple woman. She was never extravagant.
Mm.
She liked the simple things in life. And I just really, that spoke to me from a young age, that she was simple. She was content with the life that she had. She didn't have it all, but what she did have, she shared. And that's something that has stayed with me even onto my young adulthood now, from a child, seeing the way she was with people. And she was rough around the edges, don't get me wrong. She was plain spoken. And I think we know a certain someone that is that same way. She was plain spoken, she said it like she saw it. She never condemned anyone, but if you were wrong, she told you you were wrong. If you had to collect some licks, you had to collect some licks. You know, I personally never collected any from her, but I heard once you collect a beating from her is you're not going to do that thing again. I personally did not receive any. I was probably fortunate enough, or I was a really good child to not receive any of that. But all in all, she was rough around the edges, but she was loving. She gave her heart and her soul, not just for her family, but anyone that she met, she gave it all. And that has stayed with me for a very, very long time, and it will continue to stay with me.
So this segment, for those who tune in tonight, is Mother, You're One of a Kind. And this segment, we're dealing with the posthumous mother. And we're talking about a mother that we know that is no longer with us, but while we're talking in recollection, we're helping someone tonight who have lost their mother. And I know among mothers there, people going to meltdown, people going to depression because their mother who is not there. So tonight we want you to be a part of this podcast. We want you to be a part of the family. And because you're the part of the family, we are recollecting that we can give you strength that you're crying right now or whatever you're going through in the loss of your mother. So Pastor Jasmine, our youth pastor of the Conversation Together We Will Rise, is recollecting of our grandmother. Well, my grandmother, Jasmine, I either side of my father or mother, grandmother, I have vague memory of my mother. But my father, mother, I don't know them. She died real early. So I have no grandmother recollection. But my foster mother, which is currently mother, which we call Meta. In the country, something has got their name, but that is not a right name. You understand? People write name, Pastor Jackson, when they're dead, Then you hear the
Yes,
death.
that it was the same thing with my grandmother as well. When she died, that's when I knew her actual name, and I couldn't even pronounce it at the time. So, you always know them by some kind of false name or a call name, as we would say. That's when you know the names. That's the names that you know them by.
I know our real name when I get older and start going to church with her, then they start call her our right name, cousin Iris Monroe. But everybody in the village had respect for her. They call her Meta, which we call her, right? But one thing I remember about her is that she know that I love to eat. I will eat at Auntie Corley and go and eat at her. So every meal I eat twice. But she always eating, even though she know I just ate. Come by her, she still makes sure because that's what I love, right? And she always be fun and always make me leave with a laughter. Because growing up as a child, I love to laugh. I laugh at anything and everything. I used to make fun of the old people. I used to, when I go to church, I used to look for who's sleeping. I would laugh at them. I get licks inside church laughing at people because I grew up in the Presbyterian church where she took me. And the Presbyterian church back then, most time the elders are so very much old people. And sometimes you find they fell asleep, right? So I always used to be the distraction. So I used to get licks inside church because I laugh at the people, and she was very much a disciplinator. And I had one thing, Pastor Jasmine, I believe that licks used to burn and cool. You can burn for a little bit and then look, you come back to the normal thing. So that's one thing I remember for Meta. She was always a fun person to be around. She facilitated my eating habit and she always made me leave with a joke. And then she, when I was like probably 7, 8 years old, she gave me a book that called the Bible Story. It was a yellow book. And she would make sure I don't tell her that I read. I gotta explain, I was 7, 8 years. What can I explain about the story? And all I gonna say, this is a man, this is a camel, and so on. I can't explain anything more than that. But tonight I want to those who have lost their mother and their father, and most so is your mother tonight, your aunt, your foster mother, posthumously want to tell you that we want to let you know that we understand. We also are suffer some kind of loss. You understand? And tonight we gear this segment for you to understand. Jasmine, what about someone else in the family apart from your grandmother, or in the church, somebody who was like the loudest singer, but they no longer around? That is still like something about them that just connects to you.
Well, I think the one person that would come to mind with some, she was not a loud singer. She was a worshiper. She loved to worship. She was an old soul. She loved her church and she loved her church family and her family. And that would be Sister Michelle. We recently lost her, and apostle knew her from a little while longer than me, but for the time that I had known her, that short period, the way that I saw she lived her life again, she was a simple woman. And when we lost her, and we went to the funeral, and I heard how everyone was talking about her, it was the exact same way that I felt. She was this person, she was simple, she loved everyone, even when she was hurt, not just mentally, but physically, when she was sick, in the past months and weeks before we lost her, she was still so jovial. She stuck
Mm,
around us, she made sure that we smiled, she always came to give you a hug. She was there, and I know that even though I didn't know her for as long as you would expect to know someone to feel that way, that's how much of a wonderful person she was. That's how loving she was. That the minute you met her, you just clicked. She was just this warm, inviting presence that you could feel comfortable in. She never made you feel uncomfortable. She always felt welcoming and warm. And when we did lose her, it was a big kind of sadness and sorrow, but I took comfort in knowing, and that's what I think many of us should take comfort in knowing too, is that, not because someone is no longer with us, that we should forget or not remember all the wonderful things about them. It's human to grieve and it's human to feel sadness about, especially around this time where you don't no longer have that mother in your life or that mother figure, but we take comfort in their memories that we shared with them, no matter how small or how faint. We can take comfort in those memories and knowing that they're in a better place. I think that's one of the things that I take comfort in knowing. with many people that, even though I've lost them, they're somewhere better, and I do have the opportunity to see them again.
And that is Pastor Jasmine is recollecting of Sister Michelle, who was just transitioned from the conversation together with Rise Church. There are many and too many to name, but I'm going to still go to. There's one woman by the name of Ines Ben from Revival Temple Assemblies of God Church in Lancaster, which I had the opportunity to spend most of my years with. And what I remember about her, she always used to get a little stick in her hand, like about this long. And she will walk around the prayer meeting and seeing if you're praying or not. And if you lift your hand, she will knock you on your wrist. Lift your hand and praise God. She was like like a chap short or like the prayer meeting police. But she helped us to understand that there's certain reverence you got to bring to God. And no matter how late Aine's going to walk from Alnis to Lancaster, she was very much dedicated as old as she was. And I always remember, because now you don't find those things much in church. So when I go to prayer meeting and I see people standing at the altar and they're laughing and sometimes they're just peeping and all, I remember Ines would have straightened them out with a stick. She knock on the wrist, pray, 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 tell God something. You come to the altar. Sometimes she goes, she sit and pull you out and say, come and talk to God. And I remember her for that. Ines Ben is her name. And she teaches us a lot of things. I remember when she invited me to the first prayer meeting. She said, you ain't got to know the big words, no where them, they're bright. And she said, let's talk to God simple. Simple. She'll come and she will listen. And she was just a unique woman in the way she encouraged us to serve God. Right? So tonight, for those who have lost their mother, their grandmother, or their great aunt, probably your mother was a giver. She's no longer around. Probably your mother was a person who, you could go and sit on the bed and tell your mother the difficult moment and the difficult times, Jasmine. And we're coming to what you will do to your mom just now. But we're dealing with the posthumous part. We're about to close that section in a minute. Or you could go and talk to your mom on that bed and she's no longer there. Tell she all your troubles. Or you had that aunt where you could really, when you short some change, she always gets some money in your breast in that little thing, that saving part, or some money behind the door. Next thing you see, she come in. And you see she run and raise up the mattress, money hide under there, and there is no longer there, Or that big sister who used to carry all your problems, they keep it like a secret, and there's no longer. But tonight we want to tell you, myself and Pastor Jasmine, we're not insensitive. Tonight we want to let you know we understand the empty chair. Jasmine, walk us through tonight, Pastor Jasmine, walk us through tonight the empty chair of our grandmother. She walk us through the empty chair of Michelle of our church. Tonight also, there's much more we can do. So we're not under insensitive tonight, where your rock is no longer there. But you know what? I'm going to throw in little Jesus here, Jesus is your greatest rock. He can fill that void. He can take care of your pain and all of those kind of things. As we switch gears tonight to the mothers now that are present. So after posthumous, we have mothers that we call step. I know you are not, Pastor Jasmine, a recipient of being a stepchild for a stepmom. Neither do I. Well, that's Father's Day different. But but I mean, observing, right? We get the stepmother here now. Observing, like what you have observed, one qualities of like a stepmother that you see around really rise to the occasion that really grip your heart.
Well, while I have not been on the receiving end of, having a step parent, a stepmother, um, I have been in close relationship with people who have stepmothers and stepchildren. And I think the world has this idea of, step parents are evil or they don't care about you. or whatever the case may be. But I have lived my life every day seeing that a stepmother, though those children were not birthed from her womb, she was there for them a little bit more than she was there for her own biological daughter. Let me tell you, sometimes, not in a bad way, but Apostle JD is my biological mother, but I have two older brothers, that she did not birth them, but those are her children. Those are her children. If you don't tell people, they don't know because they call her mom. They have a close relationship. They would rather go to Apostle and tell her what is troubling them than go to our father that is b- related to them biologically. And people have this notion that you can't get along if you're stepchildren and step parents and stuff like that. But we can, if you can look at someone and feel love for them, show them love, that that you could just give to them even though they're not yours. And that's the kind of love that, if we could show that kind of love, the world would be a better place. If we had that kind of love of selfless giving, and just being there, you don't have to try to parent them in telling them what to do or how they should live, but just being that shoulder that they could cry on, that they could go to their times of worries, and just conversate with them and be there. You don't have to give advice, just be there in their silent moments. It would make so much of a difference. So while I know some people may think that step parents are not the best kind, or they're just a secondary placement to actual parents, it doesn't have to be that way. And I've witnessed firsthand, because Apostle JD loves her sons. She spoils them, even though they are the two eldest and I am the youngest. She spoils them rotten. She loves her children. If I think if me and them are to ever argue, she would take their side. Please don't tell her I said that. But I believe that she would probably take their side over mine. But that's okay because I'm a daddy's girl. It's fine. Because but she loves her kids. She says that she loves each and every one of us equally. But between you and I, we know there's a probably about a point difference in that kind of love, because we know she loves her children, her sons, right? But yeah, step parents don't have to be something that are a bad experience. I'm sure that there are many people that have experienced stepmothers being, well, the wicked stepmother. But if we can just probably take a moment to look at some of the small things, then it could be a good experience.
I The line gonna open at 8:40. For those who want to wish their mother happy Mother's Day, I have observed many stepmothers have done a phenomenal job, a great job, an awesome job. But I think sometimes the education part for stepmothers is challenged, right? And I'm gonna tell you why it's challenged, Pastor Jasmine. Because they were forced upon motherhood with the educational part that I must love all them equally. Nobody have the capacity to love each other, all their children equally. They love them all, but every child brings something different. So you love them for the difference that they bring. And also, Pastor Jasmine, your brothers bring something different that you can bring to your mom. So
All right, Pastor Seon, I see you pick it up for Apostle now.
she loved them for what they bring, and she loved you for what they cannot bring. So we're dealing with stepmothers, and sometimes that is where there's a little glitch and there's a little misconception sometimes, because she's forcing herself to love our biological children and the children that came not from her womb equally. And because she's not educationally savvy, that she cannot love them equally, therefore it becomes a challenge. But every child is different, right? Every child, well, some child gonna make you laugh, some gonna make
I
you, some gonna get to the edge of your seat, some gonna put on your slippers on your feet, some gonna bring a cup of water, some gonna put on music and say, "Come, let's dance." Every child is different, and you love them for what they bring to you. So stepmothers are awesome mothers also. And once tonight's you can reach out to your stepmom and say, "Mom, I understand there was a little challenge and you're forcing yourself not understanding this part of your motherhood." So we still salute stepmothers. Let's go to foster mother. Jasmine, you have had the opportunity to look at a foster mom?
Yes, I have
And
had the opportunity.
what have you seen that
I
gets your life about foster?
the experiences that I have seen are in a case where, these children are in a tough place and they don't have anywhere better to go. They may have places to go, but they don't have anywhere better to go. Sometimes it's from a broken home, parents died, they separate, they're not able to look after the children the way they're supposed to. But I think foster mothers, it's a choice that we make. We choose to take in someone's children or a family member's child or someone. We make that choice to choose those taking care of those children. And it takes someone with a lot of patience, someone that has understanding that these children have gone through something. They have gone through something that may sometimes make them lash out or make them not listen or disobedient. It takes a patient person to have this kind of understanding that we will have disagreements where you and I we don't get along with on a particular subject or we disagree on something, but it is them choosing, even though what we're going through all of this, it is them choosing to be patient and understanding to look after that child. And I have
And
witnessed it. Yes, Passion.
continue, continue.
Yeah, I've witnessed it, I've seen it up close where they didn't this woman they didn't know these children, where they who they were, their background, but they made the choice to still help these children. And because of that small choice, sometimes in that moment where you choose to what help this child, it may seem small and it may seem insignificant, but I can guarantee that there are many of us, because of that small choice that was made, that choice to understand and be patient, it is the reason many of us have been able to succeed in life thus far. It is the reason that we are where we are today, because of that small choice that some mothers may see as insignificant. Or it was just, you know what, I just did it because it felt right to do. It's not a big deal. But I can guarantee that for many of us that have gone through that experience, like yourself, Pastor Sion, I know that that experience for you, it meant a lot. The sacrifices and the patience that was there in that time, it meant a lot to you, to be able to, you know what, I am who I am today because of that choice that was made. That choice did not have to be made, but it was made. And I am where I am today because of that choice. So foster mothers, it takes a special kind of patience for them. And I am sure that there are many of us that out there that are really grateful for it.
I listening to you, and the thing that jumped that we pass for the cause here, right? The choice. It's a choice for us. The parents really have to make. Nobody, it's a must or by compulsion. The Holy Spirit just changed this whole dynamics here. Because I am a recipient of a foster parent, right? Mostly we have a drop a little blood, but it's foster parent. She had multiple miscarriages. So she never held a child of her own. Multiple miscarriages. And she took me in when I was 1 year, couple months. And you could not have tell that that is not my biological mother. I learned that I have a biological mother when I'm in my teens. Because it's like there was nothing lacking. You know what I'm saying? And it's like why I see around mothers give to their children, she give to me. But the reason why I never call her mommy or mother, I call her Auntie Carly because she taking other people's children beside me. But I'm the only one that really stood in the physical home the longest. So they will call their mother mommy and call her auntie. So even though she mothered me, you know, children see what children do. I start calling their mother mommy and calling her auntie. So she did a phenomenal job. And as a foster mother, every day of my life, when I'm facing challenges and problems and situation, and when I navigate through them, I always look to the sky and I said, God, I thank you for Auntie Corley. She wasn't well educated. She's still alive, right? Your mom met her. We never had a car under the house. We never had a motorcycle. She didn't have no title. But when I equate people want all of those things, and I try to do equilibrium. She did a phenomenal. I don't know if it's the Holy Spirit help her to do it, because motherhood don't have a book. They never get a book how mother should mother a child or children. But she did a skillful job. So tonight, to all the foster mothers, we want to say Happy Mother's Day to you too. We want to give you a bow, posthumous mothers. We want to give you a wave, a salute, stepmother. That was Pastor Jasmine. Let me talk about caregiver now. Because caregiver is, you know, some women, they have children and so on, but they take that role to be like a caregiver at school, you know, or wherever at church, or take the modern role in the society, or, you know, tell us what the person probably teach you to, you know, to ride bicycle or play sal pass or upscotch, or you know, tell us something about like a caregiver, how they affect your life.
Pastor, for me, caregivers are an important part of this society today. Because long ago, for it, I don't know how it was to raise children back in the day, but now in this society, caregivers are an important thing. Because, like you said, no one had a book on how to be a mother. And in this day and age, we have so many problems that our children go through that that parents probably didn't go through. I can't say we because, but parents probably, their children go through things in life that they probably didn't go through and they don't know how to face it. But with someone else there that is able to lend that experience or to lend that help, caregivers I think are something important, not just for lessons learned morally in life, but sometimes parents they just need a break. They need that time to themselves because I know sometimes it can be overwhelming. They just need that break in their lives to just recuperate and get their stuff back together and to have their heads right. They need that time for themselves, and that's where caregivers come in. Again, it's a choice that you make. You see someone and their child and you're like, what, I could lend a helping hand. I could probably, go up to her and tell her, you look beautiful tonight, you look wonderful tonight, or go up to him and say, what, you're doing such a great job, I saw that you were doing this and that's such a wonderful thing to do, but I see that you're going astray a little bit. You're not doing what you usually do, or you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And this is how to get back on path. This is how you should, you know, get back on the right track. Sometimes it's hard. I know that parents and children we have this tug and war. Sometimes we don't see eye to eye, and we don't want to agree on certain things. And we feel that one person feels that they know, and then the other person knows, and you have this tug and war going on between parent and child, mother and child. But with a caregiver, with that outside, you know, help or the outside advice, we tend to lend a listening ear more because you're in our minds as children. I could guarantee you, we're like, you know what? Our parents think that they know it all or they want to tell us all or everything. But when somebody from the outside comes and tells you the same thing, then you tend to check back and listen a little bit. Because how could this person be telling me the same thing that my mother was just telling me? It's one
Mhm.
of the two things. Either my mother go and tell this woman something, or you know what? I should really be listening. And so caregivers, for me, they're important. They're an important part of our society today, you know, not just in churches or in communities. Because I heard stories back in the day, everybody looked out for everyone's children. Somebody see you doing something wrong on the road, they call you and they beat you, and you can't go back home and say that you get licks because it's more licks you get in.
Mhm.
And I think that's something that we need in today's society as well, because it's easy for children to go astray now. There are so many dangers in the world now, it's easy for children to go astray. So caregivers for me are an important part of our lives. And they do deserve some more recognition because oftentimes caregivers, you know, it's a small act. It's not this big extravagant thing that occurs every day or very often, but it's a small act. When you see someone's child or you see a child, you just take that moment to speak with them, and probably you'll see them till next week or the next month, but it's a small act that counts, and that's something that our society needs today. Because we don't realize that how small something is, what great of an impact that it could have. And so caregivers for me are an important part of our society today.
Caregiver is, I would say, like the second and the third eye. The second and the third eye, in our daily young people say the caregiver is the snitch, because, like they're snitching on you and so on. Like in my time, right? If you see an old person want to cross the road, and you didn't help them, you're going home and get some licks. Somebody going home and say, you didn't help the old person cross the road. And if you will pass somebody this elder, you didn't say good morning or good afternoon, they will give you some licks. And you gotta hope that they forget to tell your mother because you're getting licks twice. So caregiver help to nurture the society. They help to nurture the community, like the second and the third eye. They snitch when you're going wrong, or they talk on you, or they even discipline you. But I think society need more of the caregiver to take interest back in the community children and the community and the society. Make sure what you want for your children, the same for others. So in our time it was rough because you can even do something without it being caught. You know what I mean? Sometimes you look all around and you see nobody looking, you gonna teeth the guinea. Somebody don't see by the time he told me get licks. Why you steal the guinea? You know what I'm saying? So caregivers tonight, we want to thank you for an awesome job for molding us, for shaping us, to help us. Sometimes we don't like what you're doing. Sometimes we really want to give you a tongue licks. But you know what? We thank you for what you have done, caregiver. The line is open. The number is 678-770-0430. It's going across the screen. Can somebody type in the number if they do mind? 678-770-0430. You can call in and wish your mother or wish someone a happy Mother's Day, your aunt or whoever. You can use WhatsApp and call that number, or you can call that number straight, and you can call in and wish someone a happy Mother's Day. Someone can type the number in the chat for me, please. While you're doing that, I have in the studio, in case you want to know who is this beautiful young woman. She is Pastor Jasmine Passad, the pastor of the Conversation. Together we will rise ministry. You may ask where is it is located? In the Mahaika Maikoni area. Thank you, Akisha, for typing that number for me, please. So the number to call is 678-770-0430. It's in the chat. You can call in and you can call by WhatsApp, or you can call straight. You want to wish your pastor, you want to wish whoever a happy Mother's Day. Whoever you want to wish, you can call in and wish them. Or if you want to call it after the discourse with myself and Pastor Jasmine, so we'll welcome that also. So, Pastor Jasmine, now come down to your mother. Tell us about the qualities of your beautiful mom, Apostle JD Prasad, and give her some verbal roses tonight.
Well, where do I begin? I think for me, Apostle is everything. She's not just a mother, she's an apostle, she's a friend, she's a mentor. She's rough around the edges. Like I said, she's straightforward. Don't think it's just with people on the outside. She's straightforward in her household too. She does not shy away from what she likes and dislikes. She's a big disciplinarian, though I've never received any of those physical disciplines. You know, she's a disciplinarian. She stands for what's right and what's wrong. Sometimes I know as children we don't see eye to eye, and I will not lie. Sometimes, we have different views because she tends to tell me I'm not like her when she was younger. She was more fiery and like to, put it out there. She likes to tell me I'm more laid back, and sometimes we have different views on things. But that does not change the fact that to me, she is a wonderful role model. She is someone whose boldness I admire. The way that she gets things done. I admire that about her. I admire her criticism. It's an odd thing to say, but I admire that she doesn't just sugarcoat everything for you. If you make a mistake and you do something that's wrong, she tells you. She tells you that you were wrong and you shouldn't have done it this way. You could have done it the other way. So I admire her criticism. She's encouraging and criticizing at the same time. I don't know how she does it, but she does it and it works because it worked for me and it was worked for so many other people. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret though. Her grandchildren, her grandson is her life.
Mm.
She adores her grandson. She will spoil him. I am the youngest of my family, and she has never spoiled me the way she spoils her grandson. She loves him. That is her lifeline and her everything. She always told us that she would love and take care of her very first grandchild, and that is her grandson. But all in all, she is a wonderful role model. I have seen her give her all. Some people may think that what she's this rough person or this hard person, but I've seen her give all her love and all her commitment into people and into the works of God in the kingdom. And sometimes it's hard to see that she doesn't receive back that same kind of love and appreciation. It's hard to stand in her family, in her circle, because when you see something happens on the outside, it's easy to be on the outside and be like, oh, it's not hard. But sometimes it's hard to see that the person, this strong person that gives her all, that puts everything out there for the people around her, and that she hurts like this. It's hard sometimes. But what another thing that I admire is her persistence. The way that no matter how many times life has knocked her down, she keeps on going on. And it amazes me that the things that she has gone through, not just in church or in life in general, the things that she have gone through, I know to myself that if I had gone through the same, I would have already given up. And I admire the way that she keeps on going on. And she is this person I can go and speak to. No matter if her and I had just had an argument, but we don't argue. We disagree. She would tell me something, I say I don't like that. Or I would say something and she said I don't agree with you. Or something like that. No matter if we don't see eye to eye in that moment, she's still there to give advice. If I don't want to follow her advice, then she's still there to give other advice. She's always just there. I don't know how she does it, She always knows when something is wrong. I don't have to tell her something is wrong. She always knows that something is going on, and sometimes she understands that I don't want to talk about it, but she's there. And that's what matters to me, that she's there. Sometimes, she was not able to be there for things that I wanted her to be there for, but I knew that what it was for good. It was for betterment. She's just an amazing person. I can't find words to describe how amazing she is. I could only hope that I could be half as great a mother as she is, not just to my own kids, but to see the way she takes in other people's children and loves them unconditionally. I could only hope to be half as amazing as that. So I just want to take this opportunity to say, Mom, I love you and I appreciate everything that you do for me, and not just for me, but for our family, and for being that backbone, that person that stands strong in the middle of every storm. Thank you. So yeah, Pastor Sion, I know that Apostle and you guys have this live every Saturday or every Sunday and stuff like that, and I enjoy sitting down and listening to you guys do it. And when I sit and I listen to the way she speaks, it just inspires me to see the things that she's doing, and the way that she's continuing to just be this amazing person. So yeah, that's my two cents of Apostle.
The number to call is 678-770-0430. 678-770-0430. You can call and wish your loved one happy Mother's Day. My mom, she left herself undone for me many times. And the two most things that stood out for me that will ever live in my heart, my mind, my spirit as long as I live. I'm science major, and I was writing 13 subjects. And my mom, of biology, chemistry, physics, none of those kind of stuff. Right? But I see my mom would sit up to keep my company while I'm studying. And you see she making, what do you call it? Boogles, that's the other you should drop your head and so, or whatever you used to call it. Right? And you could see she dance with you and sleep. But she makes sure I cannot give you help but my presence. She left herself undone tremendous time, but that most of all stood out for me. When she sacrificed her sleep to keep my company, that I can study, that I can fit into the world, right? The second thing that stood out to me is the time I stole $20. Thief $20. I don't even understand what stole it. I thief $20 because I didn't take it. I stole it. And I went to school. And this money finishing, Pastor Jasmine. So the teacher called my mother. My mother take me as young as I be to jail. Asked the state police to put me in the lockup. And I can remember sitting in that lockup there. I can't see my hand. All I remember is a 5-gallon bucket in the corner there. That is the guy's toilet. And she let her help me there for 1 hour. Right? Then when they loose me out, now I thought that is the end of it. She take me home, put me on a grater to kneel with some iron in my hand. My whole knee is blood for $20. And she done, she said, go behind the door and close it in your face for $20. And then she turned, she said, I did all of this because a liar is a thief and a thief is a murderer. Today I appreciate that because money is not my problem. Money is money is not my weakness because of what she did for me. So I thank her for the two great, she did many, but for the two greatest stewardship that she have done in my life. And tonight, Corley, Danny Thomas, I want to say happy Mother's Day. Pastor Jasmine, how would it feel was to share your mother with other people that she has to mother?
I won't lie, sometimes, it was difficult. because as a young child, you don't want to have to share your mother. You don't want to have to share that, that feeling or that attention. Sometimes you needed it. And I remember when Apostle used to be going on mission trips to different countries or around our country, I used to be left with my dad and my brothers. And my dad used to have to comb my hair to go to school. Sometimes, you go with one pony up here and the other one down here. But he tried. And at times when I was younger, I used to think to myself, this isn't fair that I have to share, my mother with other people. But then I was old enough and I started going out with Apostle to some of her mission trips and to some places that she preached. And when I would stand and I would see what an impact she had on people, just her being there alone, um, how it had such a positive impact on some people, I understood to myself then that, this is what she has to do. This is what she was ordained to do, and it's not fair for me to feel like I've been wronged for not being there, because if she wasn't there for some people, we don't know what could have happened. And I'm fortunate that even though, she had to be moving around a lot in her ministry or whatever the case may be, she never forgot to tell me how much she loved me and how much she appreciated me and how much she was proud of me. I remember, like you, Pastor Sion, I had to stay up late when I was in high school doing projects and stuff like that. And she didn't have the knowledge to understand some of the things that I had to do, but she was there. She could have now come back from a 48-hour mission trip. She would sit there with me and she would be there if I had to get help to do something. If she had to cut out something or paste something, she would be there to do that. So even though sometimes it did feel a little hard to have to share her, I don't regret it. I don't regret having to share her for because I see what good she has done. I see what her presence has done for other people, and I don't regret it. So even though sometimes something may be hard, sometimes it's necessary, and in the end you will see the fruitfulness out of it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I remember when I was going through a slight difficult time, and I never tell my mom, but you always get somebody gonna snitch, somebody gonna talk. You always get somebody gonna share information.
As we say in Guyana, it always gets some culture.
Cool, that's the word I was looking for at the time. Yeah, son. And somebody called Chora and tell my mom some things. And my mom was so concerned that once she know you from America, she gonna give you my name, give you my number to reach out to me. She didn't care what state it is, whatever it is. And I remember one time a lady called me and said, I don't know you, but the way your mom talk about you, she give me a number. I just want to talk to you. And because when I was in 10, everything I share with her, she share with others. If I give my mom $100 right now, I guarantee you by 10, 12 o'clock tomorrow midday, she sees somebody to give out to that. It's like, man, this thing is for you. You understand? But she will give, and she will even give away things of values like
I
what?
understand that. Yep, I understand that. And
I'm
it
telling
is
you,
it
specific sacrifice to get this thing for her. Gosh, it's dire for her. It's dire. She really needed it. And it slipped. She didn't intentionally tell, but it slipped out her mouth. She gave it away. But nevertheless, I thank God for her. We thank God for our mothers. And tonight, as I said, we're gonna extend it for another 10 minutes. So you can call me, want to call and wish your mom a happy Mother's Day. Whether it be your foster mom, your stepmother, your foster mother, whoever mother, your auntie, whoever you want to wish your caregiver, you want to wish happy Mother's Day. The line is open 678-7700-430. Yes, so Pastor Jasmine, it's an awesome thing to sit now and see You have ascended to the youth pastorship now, where you're walking in the stead now of your mother, and you're feeling the demands that your mother felt. How did it feel to you now?
It is a surreal experience. I wouldn't say that I'm walking exactly in her stead because it's big shoes to fill. It is a big shoes to fill. And if I remember when I was younger and we went to church one night, I think it was a crusade, and her and I we go, and a the pastor that was there, he turned to me and he said that you're going to be just like your mom. You're going to do exactly what she's doing. And I went home and I told my father that man crazy. He don't know what he talking about. He got to be mad. He on something. Because me do what mommy doing? No, never. And when I started preaching and doing things in church, she reminded me of what that man said to me. And still I did not. I was like, you know what? No, I'm not I'm not cut out for that. I can't do the things that you're doing. I can't be the way that you are. And she said to me, you don't have to be the way that I am. You don't have to do things exactly the way that I am doing it. She just didn't tell me, do it like this or do it like that. She was like, no, you are your own person and do it the way that you know is right. So while I may not be walking exactly in her stead, I have a long, long way to go because I know she has come a long way and I have a long way to go. And it's really, really big shoes to fill. I look forward to keep on working beside her, to working along with her, to grow. And I know that there is so much that I can still learn from her. And while she says that she learns from me, I'm not sure what she learns, but I'm glad that I can be that, that friend, not just a mother and daughter, but that friend that we can grow and communicate with one another and learn from one another.
And
So even though it is, yeah,
like
yes,
I said to your mom, you are different where she has a apostle deliverance ministry, which is called by God to fulfill the mandate upon this earth. God is giving you, Pastor Jasmine, a pastoral evangelistical calling to fulfill the mandate upon this earth. You and I are modeling the same ministry that God has called us to be. I am a pastor slash evangelist. Ministry God has called me to fulfill upon the earth. We have the same style of teaching, the same style of certain things. Because your gifting are very much evidence of the call, you know. You don't got to go to a school to somebody tell you what you're called to do. Right? Your call is evidence, the fivefold ministry are very much evidential of what God has called you to do. Right? And because of your evangelistical style, you will be going countries that your mother will never go. You will be
I'll still take her with me.
you will be preaching on platforms that your mother has never had the opportunity. But your mother will be stewarding pastors that you will never steward because an apostle raised pastors. An evangelist go after souls. A pastor help in the governing of the local assembly. Right? So tonight we want to thank all mothers and Pastor Jasmine. I want to thank you tonight for taking a bit time off your busy schedule. You could have been right now taking your mother to Para Ara Cafe or taking your mother to some great restaurant. Probably you may take her to the Seawall. Probably could have take her to Giftland Mall. Probably could have take your mother somewhere and having some good bunjal, duck, and so on. But tonight you take that special time off. Or probably you could have been flying to Tobago. You could have probably flying to Barbados with your mom. Or you're gonna be somewhere, probably going to Jamaica, Cancun. Probably could have been going to Mexico, the Bahamas. But you take that time off to be with us. And Jasmine, tonight openly, I want to charge you to continue in the stead at the age you are. On this Mother's Night, as a mother continue to model and mentor for where you at, continue to hold steadfast because the urn is still flowing oil. Oil is still flowing from the urn. To all daughters and sons on this light tonight, while your mother is still alive, oil is still flowing from that urn. You're not too big enough to sit at the feet of wisdom of your mother. You're not too old enough. I don't care if you get 15 children to sit at the feet of your grandmother and sit at the feet of wisdom. Tonight, the oil is still flowing from the eldest aunt in the family, and you can sit at their feet and get some wisdom. The oil is still flowing. So tonight, once again, happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. And I know Pastor Jasmine want to say what you want to wish all the mothers and what you want to give to the mothers in terms of her contribution and her tribute and so on.
Thank you, Pastor Seon, very much for this opportunity. Thank you for, inviting me. I know you normally have it with Apostle, but I want to thank you and everyone for having me, for being here, for tuning in, for listening. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you, everyone, for all the welcomes and all the good feedback. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here. I had a lot of fun. It was very informative. It was good. It felt good to sit and to conversate like this and to share. And to all the mothers, foster mothers, caregivers, stepmothers, everyone, I want to wish you in advance again a happy, happy, and blessed Mother's Day. I want you to know that even though you may not feel like it, you are appreciated. There is someone out there that appreciates that what you have done for them and what you are doing. We love each and every one of you in your own style and in your own fashion. Not every mother is the same, but that motherly love, you can recognize it anywhere. And we want to say thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for always being there. Pastor Sion, once again, thank you for having me. And again, to my wonderful, beautiful mom, Apostle JD, happy Mother's Day. Thank you. If it was not for you, I don't think I would have been here doing this. Thank you so much for all your mentoring and your love and your patience and your advice. Thank you so, so, so very much. And I can only wish and hope that I could make you as happy and make you feel as loved as you make me feel. And I want to wish you a happy and blessed Mother's Day. Not just from me, but from your many, many children, your sons, your daughter-in-laws, your grandchildren, all your sons and daughters that are not with you today or will be with you tomorrow. We want to wish you a happy Mother's Day and we love you. Thank you once again, Pastor Sion, for having me, and it was so, so much fun.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, the caregivers, stepmother, foster mother, posthumous mothers who was gone and not here with us anymore. And I love, Pastor Jasmine, what you say just now. Resonates so much with my spirit. When you say sometimes they may not feel like it. But when your mother's sick and she still made breakfast for you. She crying out for headache, but she's still in front of the stove. She have not feeling well, but she still stand up, make sure you have clean uniform to go to school. Mothers, we understand. Pastor Jasmine say you don't feel like it, but you still get the job done. Once again, mothers, happy Mother's Day to you. You don't feel like close the show. But nevertheless, we love you. We love you. We love you. Myself and Pastor Jasmine going to give you a virtual hug. We love you, mothers. And we are in a conversation together. We will rise. Ministry. And Pastor Jasmine,
Ministry.
yes, is our youth pastor of Conversation Together We Rise. And in that area, if you want to, have your son or your daughter connected to the ministry, you can reach out to Pastor Jasmine, Apostle J.D. Prasad, reach out to myself, and we can help your son and your daughter to show them in the direction that they may go, serving God, living for Jesus, being something in society. We have our book club that is starting in the month of June, right? So you can come out to the book club. It's not the Bible, so don't get scared or going to go Bible study. It's a book club. You're gonna know what book we're gonna be studying. You come out, we read, and so on. And you don't get refreshment on the first book club meeting. Sorry, but when we get a roster going and we know how much people sign up and so on, our book club gonna be kicking off. Then we're gonna deal with refreshment. Once a week you're gonna meet and you're gonna have the book club, and then we're gonna get into the then you're gonna connect with the leader of the book club in Barbados, and we're gonna read the same book. We're gonna talk about it, and we're about to get the conversation global network book club in all the continents and countries of this world. We believe in stewarding difference, right, and leaving a legacy of great education behind. So once again, we love you, and we love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. God bless you.